Hello people and welcome to this new class in where we're gonna see a very interesting tools in InDesign. I'm talking about the AI new tools. You can find them clicking this floating panel called text to image. One click on here and then the menu pops up. If this floating panel still is not in your workspace, you can go over Window, Text to Image. In this menu, the first thing that you can see is some variations down here because I have been playing with a surfboard image. So firstly, I will delete everything and we will start together from zero. So here we are. We have already a blank document. It is an A4 with narrow margins in where we will place an image using what is known as a prompt. If you check up here, this first menu, we can read text to image and we can expand it. We have more options: text to image, generative expand, and finally generative fill, which is still in beta. We will start from the beginning using text to image. Then we find a box in where we can write down our prompt. I am totally sure that you know already what is a prompt. Mainly, it's a text that we write down in order to give the AI tool instructions about our future image. Basically, it is a written description about what we want in our image. So I will write down the next prompt: surfboard in a vertical position. And then let's click generate. If we hover over this button, we can read this standard generative feature uses 1 credit per generation, unless you have a plan that gives you unlimited access. Each generation outputs 3 images. Okay, one click on here. We have to wait a little bit and then we find 3 images here, 3 variations. Imagine that we like the first one, click on it. Then I move to my document and I place this image as a normal one from this upper corner to the opposite corner. And here we have our image. First problem: the aspect ratio doesn't match with my document, with my A4. So I will do it in another way. I will delete this image. I'll go to the rectangle frame tool, one click. Then I create my frame, my image frame, and I will write down again the same prompt: surfboard in vertical position, generate. This time, as you can see, this image is fitting my frame perfectly. And we have 3 new variations: the first one, the second one, and the third one. Maybe the third one, in my opinion, is the best in terms of the size of the board. So I will keep working with this image. So here we are. We have already generated a new image using just a piece of text, this prompt. What else we can do? Here is in where my opinion the interesting thing of this tool appear. Let's click on advanced. Then this menu pops up. We can read here our prompt and we can even change it. We find down here the aspect ratio. We have several options. Let's click frame dimensions. And then we have these 2 possibilities: photo and art. This is interesting because we are going to generate a photorealistic image or a piece of art, which means that our image is going to be more similar to a drawing than to a photo. Then if we go down, we have the possibility to use a reference image and style effects. On the right side, automatically we find different sample prompts. These sample prompts, in my opinion, are not very useful because they are just prompts. Imagine the first one says koala sitting in a chair wearing human clothes and holding an old camera, and we see the result, right? Probably this is something that we don't want to use, but the point here is that we can find more or less a clue about how to use the prompts, how to use our descriptions to make the AI works on its best. And at the same time, we can check by ourselves some examples about what we can achieve with this tool. But let's continue with our own image, with our surfboard example. We were working using the photo option, and then let's click on reference image. On this menu, we can upload our own reference image, or we can use this gallery. Let's use the gallery because it's going to be more clear how this tool works. In the end, we have different images which will work as a reference in terms of the style. So both reference image and style effects are kind of similar, but let's see it graphically. For instance, I will use this image with these colors, these pinks, these purples, and this kind of neon light. So one click on here, the image is already charged up here, and then I click on generate. And here we have the result. The surfboard has taken that image style, right? In terms of the colors and in terms of the light. I see that there is an error because we said that we wanted the aspect ratio as the frame image, but this image is already cut, which means that if I click twice on the frame, we can see how the image is bigger than the frame. So first of all, I will use the fitting tool. We already saw how to use this tool. So right click, fitting, and I will say this time fill frame proportional. Here we are. So this is the first variation, but we have three. If I click on the second one, we can check it on our paper, and then let's click on the third one. In my opinion, the best is the first one. But if we are not happy with any of these three variations, we can click on generate again, and we will have three more. Anyways, let's go again to the advanced option panel. Again, reference image. And now let's use another image from the gallery in order to understand better and better the possibilities that we can use for our projects. This time, for instance, I will use this colorful image with kind of flowers. Once it's selected and charged, I click on generate. And here we are. First option, second option, and third option. As you can see, the power of this tool is endless. And let's continue. Advanced menu, and this time instead of a reference image, I will go to the style effects menu. In this style effects menu, we have another gallery with different effects, right? Let's say that we like this layered paper. One click on here and again generate. The prompt is still there. Surfboard in vertical position. It is still using that prompt, and now the AI is generating three new variations. First one, second one, and third one. Another example, style effects, and let's say futuristic, generate. And here we are, first option, second option, third option. So this is a matter of try and try once and over again till we find something that it matches with our goals for the project. I could be trying different options hours and hours, but I think it is enough for showing you how this tool works in general terms. Let's say that the option that I like the most is this one, and imagining that we are designing the front cover for a surf magazine, let's put here the title. Text tool, click and drag to make the text box more or less with my desired size, and I will call it surf limit. I will make it bigger, and I will use a font called Fig 3. The style will be black, Fig 3 black, even could be black italic, tracking -50. This could be okay. I will adjust the text box. I will change the color into white. Then align tool, center to the page, and using the scale options, I will do it a little bit bigger till touching the margins of the sides and the top margin too. Here could be okay. And then imagine that I want the surfboard in an upper position. Selection tool, I go inside, I move the photo a little bit to the top. And what happens? I have a blank space at the bottom. And here is when this AI tool has another option very useful. I select my frame image. The frame image, as you can see, goes till the end of the paper, right? But my image finishes more or less here. So we have a blank space. We need to expand the image because we don't want to change the scale of the photo. Then once the frame is selected, I go to my text to image panel, and this time I select generative expand. It is selected automatically because we are talking with an AI tool and she is very intelligent. And then here I can either write down a prompt to generate something in that blank space, or I can click directly generate. This way the AI will complete the photo with the background. Let's do it. One click on here, we have to wait a little bit, and here we have the result with 3 variations. First one, second one, and third one. Just focus on the bottom of the page. Again, first one, second one, and third one. In this case, my favorite is the second one. So here we are. This option, I have to say that I use it a lot, and I am sure that you will love it. And to finish the class, let's see the third option. The third option, if you remember, was generative fill. And when we hover over the title, we can read turns SVGs, shapes, or text into images with custom textures and effects. So let's do this example using a circle. I will click on the ellipse tool, and holding Shift, I make a perfect circle. This is a shape, this is a vector, so this tool will work automatically. As you can see, once this vector is selected, the generative fill is selected as well. Then here we can write down a prompt, or we can use the sample effects. Here we have some examples, but for this cover, I will write down here, for instance, sunglasses. Something simple. Generate. And here we have the 3 variations. First one, second one, and third one. I was imagining the sunglasses in black, so I will change the prompt. Sunglasses in black color. Generate. I made some variations. Maybe the one I like the most is this one. So selection tool, and maybe I can use this as a logo to give some touch to my cover, or even as a bullet list if I do it smaller and I copy it a few times and then include here some text, some subtitles. This is a creative decision, but you know already how this tool can work and can help us with our designs. So let's finish the class here. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.